Okay, before I make a video on how to invert triads in level 5, let's quickly go over the common mistakes and strange things I've seen my students do over my years of teaching, and I will show you so you don't also do it on the exam and lose marks and feel bad about yourself. Okay, let's start with a mistake that looks like this. Okay, let's start with question 2. Wow, write the key signature in the subdominant triad for each of the keys. Write the functional chord symbol below. Wow, D major. I know what D major is. Father Charles. Now D major. Yeah, hooray. False. What's wrong with this? Kids are rushing. They didn't read subdominant. Sometimes your eyes are darting around the page because you're nervous on the exam, and a kid might have seen D major and thought, hey, D major triad, go. And they wrote a D major triad, but this question was asking for the subdominant triad of D major, not a D major triad. This was supposed to be a G major triad because G is the 4th note of D major and subdominant means 4. So this was referring to writing a D major key signature, but this was referring to the triad to write GBD. So be careful that you're not reading so fast that you start to get your keys and your chord labels and your roots mixed up. Okay, it can start to happen because we have so many labels to refer to different things. It's easy to start getting them confused. Another mistake, I've already talked about this one in the other video, but I'll say it again because it drives me nuts. Write the key signature and dominant triad for each of these keys. E minor. Wow, the 5th note of E minor is B. There we go. B is the root, snowman. Yeah, hooray, done. False. What did the kid forget? To raise the leading tone. When I was working in, I'm not working in classrooms right now, but when I was working, I would get my homework assignments back and there would just be pages and pages and pages of my students writing dominant triads without raising the leading tone in minor keys. No matter how many times I told them in class, they would go home and I hadn't made videos. They had no one to remind them, and they would write dominant triad after dominant triad in minor keys without leading tones, and I would go X, 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 X. Please, minor triads and dominant keys, 99% of the time you're going to be working in the harmonic minor version, so please just add the leading tone. The middle note of a dominant triad is raised by 1 semitone. Okay, now what's one more? Oh yes, and the last one I'll show you for today is something that looks like, maybe we'll do this one. We'll do F minor up here. Write the tonic triad of F minor. Okay, write the key signature. Yes, F minor's key signature. I know that. Battle ends and down. F minor, F is the root. And then we will write, yeah. Great job. I got the key signature right. I got the root right, and that's the triad. That's an F minor triad. And it's the tonic triad. There's 1. Yes, hooray. Shame on you. This is a capital letter 1. This was a minor triad. It has to be lowercase. Now, there are some music theory teachers out there who tell you it really doesn't matter. You can use a capital letter I for major and minor. Who cares? It's not a big deal. Don't worry. Life is easy. Everything is fine. Don't worry. Capital letter, Roman numerals, lowercase. What's the difference? Yeah, for level 5, maybe it's not a big deal. But if you don't practice writing these properly now, you will have such a miserable time. By the time you get to grade 9 harmony, it's not even going to be funny. So please, train your brain. Lowercase Roman numerals are for minor triads, not minor keys. They're for minor triads. F minor might have a major triad you haven't learned yet, but lowercase Roman numerals are for minor keys, and uppercase Roman numerals... I said the wrong thing. Lowercase Roman numerals are for minor triads, and uppercase Roman numerals are for major triads. This is not a major triad. That's F minor. You need a lowercase. So do not get lazy. And I'll show you one more thing. Let's talk about the functional chord symbol 5. Now this is a capital letter 5, so that would be a major dominant triad. And this is a lowercase letter 5. It's a V, it's a lowercase v. That would be used to represent maybe a dominant triad in a natural minor scale that's using the subtonic instead of the leading tone. Now, one problem a lot of my students run into is the fact that Times New Roman font, which is used in your textbook, has a capital letter V look something like this, and a lowercase v looks something like this. This looks very similar. So sometimes I will just get students who write a V like this as a major dominant chord, and they'll be like, well, it's pretty big, you know, it's a big sized V, so that must mean a major chord. But in reality, there's not, maybe you're just like writing big letters. The examiner can't tell. This kind of just looks like a bigger version of the lowercase v. So to 100% ensure that the examiner knows that you know the difference between a capital letter V and a lowercase letter v, and a major triad and a minor triad, when you write capital letter V's, there's a big V, just take the extra time to write these lines on top and on the bottom. That way there is no way that the examiner and you get that confused with the lowercase v. Okay, so one more time. Capital letter V, write these. Lowercase letter v, write this. And I just remembered one more thing before I turn off the camera. Sometimes I will see students write something like this. Okay, so they meant to write a subdominant functional chord symbol. They meant to write capital letter 4. But they didn't bother to extend these lines over the V. See how hard that is to read? This looks like a tonic triad, a major tonic triad, and then a minor dominant triad. But really what they were trying to write was a subdominant functional chord symbol. So again, take the extra time and write the lines connecting the Roman numerals so that everyone can tell what you mean. All right, good luck with that. And this is only half of the RCM chapter. I am now going to go make a video on how to invert triads, and I will see you there.